I'm here with a very special guest in today's Surfaces Reporters Frontrunner. And the personality is none but an extremely visionary leader who has led by example since so many years and has crossed so many important milestones. He is Mr. K. E. Ranganathan. He's also known as Ranga, I've come to know. We'll get to know the story behind the name Ranga and all that. So today I have the MD of Roca Parryware, and we are going to have a very up close and very interactive session with him to know how the leader is transforming Roca Parryware in the time of pandemic and what are the changes we are going to see. We are going to peep into his mind and the lessons that he has learned so that we learn something from this. And this video can be documented for people who want to learn from leaders in building materials and product segment in the architecture and interiors domain. So, a warm welcome to you, Mr.
Thank you.
Ranganathan.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to start with knowing about your journey so far.
Right. Welcome to all of you once again. And my name is Ranganathan, and they call me Ranga, as she was saying. Born in 1962, I just completed 58 years young. And I'm married, and I have two sons living in the US. And I'm a guy who enjoys working with people, creating something which a long-standing benefit to all the stakeholders. So I've been in this journey in the corporate world for about 35 to 36 years, working in some of the reputed groups in the southern India called the TVS Group and the Murugappa Group. So I always jovially say my 38 years of experience is only divided equally between TVS and Murugappa. So I'm a half Chettiar and half Iyengar. So in that sense, right? So I'm born and brought up in Chennai, and very well educated family. My father was a district judge. So, the discipline sets in from the time you are born. And the way the corporate culture, I started with TVS, another organization known for corporate discipline. Again, moving on to Murugappa's after about 20 years in TVS, which is another great reputed organization. So from there, my journey started with a current organization called Roca Parryware. In the year 1994, I joined Parryware as the finance director in Chennai, 94. And around year 2005, when I was the managing director of Parryware, I thought going into the future, it may be important for a joint venture. So that's when Murugappas were very kind enough to allow me to explore the world. So we went around, and then we found a very, very apt partner called Roca, and we tied the knots with them in the year 2005. So it was a 50-50 joint venture with them. And then in the year 2008, Roca acquired the balance 50% stake from the Murugappas. So with that, Roca became a 100% subsidiary of Roca Global, headquartered at Barcelona. So since 2008 to 2012, I was in the Murugappa group, handling many businesses, because I came out of the joint venture once Roca acquired the full stake, and then moved back to the Murugappas to handle some of the good companies in the system as a chief executive officer. Then in 2012, I went out to TVS Group back to head the TVS Capital, which is the private equity business, as an operating partner. Then sometime in 2016, Roca called me back and gave me another opportunity to run this wonderful organization. So since 2016 end, I'm driving this company called Roca Bathroom Products, which is more exciting to me because I thought my destiny in bathroom was only 14 years, like Lord Rama. But it so happened that I had to come back to the bathroom and continue to enjoy my wonderful time in the creating beautiful bathrooms for our customers. So that's a very short brief about me, if that makes you a little bit interesting. On the personal side, as I told you, I'm not a guy who takes stress at all, whether it is office or home. I'm a very casual guy, a very sportsman-like. I play tennis, and I relieve my tension, if at all there is anything, by playing music. I play flute, I play mridangam, both Carnatic as well as Cine light songs. So I take life as it comes, and I enjoy being part of this wonderful community of people. And as much as possible, I give it back to the society. So in my own way, I believe that the reason why I am born is to lead a happy life and make people around me happy. So as simple as that.
So interesting. So you are a very, very warm, interesting person who enjoys music. You already play, flute, and my goodness, that's too many things. And you are also a tennis
Yes.
player, huh? Awesome. So how did you spend this lockdown and unlocked days and the pandemic days so far?
So we were. I was at home for almost a month, because entire month of April was shut, and I was. Of course, we got on to the bandwagon of work from home from day one, because we are very digitally savvy organization globally, and we immediately the next day itself we switched over to work from home. But then it was very alien to me, because I'm a guy who spends a lot of time in the market, a lot of time in the customers and vendors and architects. So hardly I spend 1 or 2 days in office, and at home I'm only there on Sundays, right? So me and my wife, and we keep playing flute, and then we converse on music, and then do some little bit video calls with the boys in US, right? But then the life became little boring, because inside home my wife was feeling, hey, what are you doing here at home? I have not seen you for long. For last 40 years I have never seen you like this, right? Or 25 years, let's say, post married life. So I was really realized that on first week itself, that I need to put a rhythm to the way I work. So what I did was I converted one of my rooms into an office room. So morning at around 9:30, I pack my bag, and then I leave as if I'm going to an office. I get to the room and then close the door, and then start thinking like I'm in office, right? And then had schedule of meetings. And lunchtime, I'll just step out. I never watched television, because COVID was going beyond our head. So we said, let's not get unduly scared by COVID. Let's stay focused. And evening by around 5:30, I shut the office and then go to the terrace, and we have a lovely terrace to walk around. And to my surprise, me and my wife, we used to walk for about 1 hour every day evening. We saw plenty of nature, I would say. The way the sun sets, fortunately, we are able to see the sunset every day. The cloud formation was very interesting. We saw a flock of birds returning back every day evening. We saw the similar kind of birds. I think it's a parrot. Some of them returning at 5:30 to 5:45 to 6, right? A group of 5 people, 6 people, like that, they'll be crossing over exactly from northeast to southwest. So I was telling my wife, look, these guys are going to office and then going back. So their work seems to be happening, and perhaps nature has taught us to shut off and think in terms of what we are doing to the nature, right? So then with this, we are able to pass April. And then come middle May, they said offices can open. So I was the first one to open the office. And then we have a lovely office. So we again put protocols in place, because we are a multinational. So we have clear guidelines in terms of what to do, what not to do. So within, by middle of 15, we started the office. Once the office started, I said, come on, maja aa gaya. So let's go back to our office, get into the routine, and then start meeting people a little bit in our office. So very beautifully, we carved out initially 20%, 40%, 50%, like that. And then the challenge started coming. Hey, this engine, this bullet train, which was going at a hectic speed with all the beautiful controls and everything, suddenly stopped. So it has to start again, like a car which is cruising at a top gear. and it has to stop. So again, we have to start the first gear, move to the second gear, pick up speed, pick up speed. So then the challenge started mounting in terms of how do we make our partners get back? Because one thing is our employees, who are 3,000 plus employees, so we need to first focus on them and making sure that they are safe, they are able to come back to work or in the market or in the factory. Second, the attention is on the trade partner, because we have 15,000 shops selling Parryware and Roca and Johnson Peda. And then we have 1,500 distributors and we have 2,500 builders to whom we are the partners. So we looked at each of these constituents and then said, how can I help them? Because my job is to help them to start the engine. If a small shop, a 500 square feet shop in Gurgaon or in Chennai, if you can open the shop safely, if you can start the engine again, then the pull will start again. So we decided on digital medium to help them. We created a nice video, do's and don'ts. For example, we took a model shop, we demonstrated to them how to rearrange their products, how to get into digital in terms of billing, how to wear mask, what is the distance they have to maintain, how to close a transaction fadafat. Earlier, the customer used to walk to 5 shops before he buys. He will go to one shop and then he'll look for detail. Then he'll go to another shop because friend told me to go to Mylapore shop, which is really good, right? But now, pandemic, nobody wants to go to shopping, right? If at all he goes, one shop, one go, finalize everything, come back. So we trained our partners in terms of how to conclude a transaction by offering the suite of products, best prices, and concluding the deal then and there. So this way, we are able to start the engine. And once the engine started, in the month of May, we did 40%, we came back in terms of pre-COVID level, 40%. So in the month of June, we said, come on, we should be able to do a little better because the lockdown is a little bit relaxing. We said unlock 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, like that. So we are able to see more shops opening. Initially, we had only 30% of 15,000 shops open. And then that started going up. So in the month of June, we moved to 60%. In July, we hit 74. In August, we hit 88. And then I thought, okay, August we are come to 88, so September we should see at least 100. And exactly we did 103 in the month of September. And with that, we said, come on, life is back. We have learned to live with this excellent animal called Corona, right? It is part of us now, right? So like a morning ritual, I get up and then brush my teeth. And I have to have this mask, and I have 5-6 masks available, right? And then I have these soaps, and then I have maintained the distance, right? Only 3 basic fundamental things we are supposed to do. So we started moving the company into its regular speed. And thankfully, in the month of October, we did 14% revenue growth compared to previous year October, right? Which means we are a company which used to grow double the speed of GDP. When GDP was growing at 7%, we used to grow at 14%, 15%. In the year 2019, we recorded 16% revenue growth. And in this year, 2020, Jan, Feb, March, we recorded 8% because we are running very good in the month of Jan and Feb. And in March, we lost about 8-9 days in the last week, right? But then April, May, June was lockdown and we lost. June, July, August, we came back. So now October, November, December, we'll come back to double-digit growth. And next year, 2021, to me, it promises to be a minimum 20 to 25% growth, because this year is a little bit down because we lost about 2 months, and next year those 2 months will still be available. So if you really look at a helicopter view, we had clear 3 phases. Survival was in April, May, June. Revival was in July, August, September. And upheaval was in October, November, December, right? So if you look at the quarters, very interestingly, the quarters started moving into these 3 buckets: survival, revival, upheaval. So survival was the fundamental, basic challenge to us. Survival of people, survival of the company. Imagine a company of our size, 1,400 crore revenue in a year, becomes 0 revenue in a particular quarter or a month. then the cost will hang very, very heavily on us, right? So we did a very, very calculated moves in terms of bringing down the cost down. We had to renegotiate rental, we had to renegotiate people strength and other things a little bit. And then we stayed head above water. Of course, there was a loss, but being a multinational, being a company with a limited scope, we had to run the show very carefully. And then the revival phase gave us courage and confidence. There is an interesting story for all to learn. How do you revive a company in such a short span of 3 months, right? Because the bigger you are, the bigger the problem, right? It's not that bigger means you can come back very fast, right? Everybody has their own scale of business and scale of complexities. So what we did was very smart in the sense we have about 200 boys working in the market. So we made sure that those 200 people who are the real engine of the company, the sales team, they were really taken care of in terms of safety measures. There was a constant team from HR directly in touch with each of the boys, where they are going, how they are going, because we are all digitally connected, right? And then we started introducing new products. And then we got on to the digital bandwagon in the month of August, not now. In the month of August, we conducted digital meets. Like 150 people were there on a digital platform and then interacting. I used to interact with them every day, one digital meet, right? Across the country, talking to the partners, giving them the courage and confidence, launching new products, giving them promotions. Obviously, when the engine has to restart, you need to start the engine with all its power. So we gave them tremendous support in terms of extra margins for them, extra promotions for them, extra credit for them. We gave whatever they want in saying that, come on, guys, we have to pull this engine back. And then the consumer offers started coming across the country. Then the plumbers, in fact, in our business, the important customer for us in terms of those who are buying in the shop is the plumber. And interestingly, in our company, we have 35,000 plumbers who are members of a loyalty program called Bandhan, which we started 3 years back. Bandhan means friendship, right? So these loyalty members, we gave them fantastic opportunity to start buying our products once again. And then they are the people I should thank, each and every one of them, because they are the people who went to the shop to buy the product, right? Because in pandemic, you and me will never take a risk as a consumer to go to the shop, right? But the plumbing community technicians, their daily life dependent, their livelihood dependent on execution of jobs at houses. So naturally, there were jobs and people were willing to allow some local plumbers to enter the home, but they needed the product. So the plumbing community people went to the shop, started buying. When they started buying, then the traction started. And then we made exciting programs for the retailers. They purchase from the dealers. Then the engine starts. When an engine starts like this, for example, imagine a ship, a giant ship. If the giant ship has to move from the harbor to the main sea, it'll take a long time. But once it hits the sea, it'll go at a cruise speed, right? Once it gets into a cruise speed, you cannot stop it. Only a pandemic like this can stop, right? So I'm happy that we are back into that cruise speed. We are a bullet train, and then we know exactly what actions to take, because sitting now, we have already formed up 2021 plans in terms of month-wise, market-wise, what activity will happen, and how do we exactly orchestrate this whole thing. Because we are a company which is a very, very obsessed with planning, obsessed with the digital, obsessed with consumers. How do we really make ourselves relevant to all our ecosystem members, whether it is architect, dealers, retailers, plumbing technician, builder, contractor? We have got a whole lot of people, and including our vendors. Our simple philosophy is this: everybody who deals with our company must feel happy to deal with this, right? The happiness will come when a consumer wants to deal with Parryware or Roca. He'll be happy if he gets an innovative product, right? If he gets an excellent product which he loves, which others may not have it, or which is really beautiful in some sense. How a dealer will be happy? Because if I make him sell out faster instead of buying from me, if he's able to sell faster, He's very happy because he's not going to carry much inventory. His rotation becomes bigger, and he's having good money with us. Then the retailer, the poor guy who is at the bottom, if again he's able to buy more and then sell faster with a good margin, he's happy with us. So the plumbing community loyalty program, the retailer loyalty program, and then going to the architect friends and offering Armani Roca, Laufen, because these are all exciting products, right? And in this pandemic time, I should tell you, Roca and Parryware together, we launched some of the beautiful products in the hygiene platform, right? Obviously, the sensor-based faucets, right? Antimicrobial seat covers. And because the concept was very clear, what as a bathroom player, we have been trying to train the consumer over last 25 years about the need to be very hygiene centric in a bathroom, because that's where the bacteria is there. That is where the virus is there. And 10% of the customers listen to us. And that's why we are the world's leader, or India's leader. But now this 90%, one fine day they move to this bucket saying that, yeah, I want only hygiene. Forget about 10% more, 20% more. I don't care. I want hygiene. Because that way, Corona has taught the world to be very, very hygiene centric. We redefined the glamour, we redefined the bathroom, and then the leadership started going up. And today, thanks to these kind of 4 or 5 brands, and Johnson Pedder, which is at the bottom of the pyramid, which is for the affordable category, you'll be surprised it is growing at 50%, 50% growth in pandemic. Can you imagine a company, a brand growing at 50% in the month of October? Not many companies can boast of, not many brands can boast of, right? And of a decent size as well. So we are very excited. Pandemic taught us quite a lot. We continue to be inside pandemic. We are not come out of the COVID tunnel, as I call it. The COVID tunnel is obviously a very dangerous tunnel. Unfortunately, we lost 2 of our employees to COVID. We are a 3,000 member organization. 2 people because of COVID we lost at the initial stages. But touch wood, no more losses, and hardly 10 people are under COVID positive now. And we monitor and we help them. They all come out very soon. We have about 88 factories in the world, out of which 8 of them are in India. So balance 80 factories feed back to us saying that, hey, this is what you have to do. Hey, this is what you have to do. Have you done anything which we can learn? So we have a digital platform with the global network. So we share best practices in India, and they in turn share their own best practices. So the power of being a multinational is this. You learn from the experience of others and you're able to implement very fast. Right? Added to that, Indian management is always on top in terms of customer orientation, speed to market, reacting very fast, right? We are naturally like that. No wonder GDP, they're all predicting minus 7.5%. And next year, they are talking about minimum 12 to 13% growth, which means you can bet on Roca bathroom products to grow at 20% plus. We have action plans. We are excited. And for us, I think we are back to the pre-COVID level. We are not able to grow in institutional bucket, but we are back to the pre-COVID, which itself is a good one. Our order book is swelling. We have good order book of some 300 crore or something for the institutional customers. But I'm confident that they will always come. But we are traditionally a retail-oriented organization. 70% of our revenue comes from retail. And that gives us a confidence that, yes, we are on track to faster recovery. Our job is only to sell out, not sell in. That's our fundamental philosophy of the Roca and Parryware system, right? So we started working on new products, digital intervention, consumer offers, loyalty programs, and these were something which is really, really powerful. And I'm so happy that in the industry of bathroom products, we came back as the fastest rebound in the month of September. Some of our partners are still yet to reach the 100% rebound. We have started growing at 14%, and we believe we are back to our driver's seat as the market leader and show the world that if you have right strategy, if you have right execution team, if you are innovative, if you are passionate about your customers, If you take care of your employees and your partners, the result is success, right? So there is nothing rocket science in all these things. If somebody tells me, oh, no, no, boss, it's a Harvard kind of a thing, it's very difficult. Sorry. We are doing fundamental business practices. We are trying to be creative. We are trying to be responsive. We are trying to be fast. In a larger organization, it is even more a challenge because on the one side, 3,000 employees, on the other side, 15,000 partners. And how do you really manage both? Because cost pressure, pricing pressure, margin pressure, right? We started in 1917, and Roca already saw one pandemic like this in their lifetime, and they saw World War II, right? And they say, Ranga, we have seen all this, right? So don't worry. We are here to back you. And being a global organization, the beauty of Roca is being present in 170 countries. You have some countries which are always producing, In the pandemic time, thick of Jan Feb, China went down and India was performing. And when India went down in April, May, China was up and running. In the month of March, April, China was up and running. So with a global network like this, Roca actually came back to 100% in the month of August itself, right? 1 or 2 months before India. And now, of course, they are growing back to the good old growth rate. Globally, maybe it's growing at 4 to 5%. But in India, I think we are able to bounce back faster. So in the last 4 years, we have gone back to the number one slot. We are growing at a CAGR of 15 to 16%. We are very, very comfortable in terms of our future. And we have entered new categories like pipes and fittings. We entered the category 1 year back. We are growing very well there. We have entered a category called safe essentials. During the pandemic, can you imagine? We put together a lovely suite of products which are friendly to the consumer. Like, for example, the toilet cleaner. We have the floor cleaner. We have the seat cover cleaner. We have the surface cleaner. And we have the faucet cleaner. So everything you require in a bathroom, the consumables, we call them safe essential. So we are quite confident. We are very happy with the way Corona is there. I'm sure in 3 months, the Prime Minister is talking about a vaccine coming in a couple of weeks, today's report, and which is very, very encouraging. The stock markets are back to pre-COVID level. The economy is going to bounce back. We are the fastest growing economy in the past, and we will continue to be like that. India is a land of plenty of opportunities, and bathroom being a category which is the lowest per capita consumption in Asia Pacific is in India. Can you believe that India has 200 million houses? Out of these 200 million houses, only 65% has bathrooms. Still, there are people who do not have a bathroom inside the home. They have a common bathroom in villages, right? And of course, open defecation is gone. Thanks to the great effort of Swachh Bharat, we are an ODF country, open defecation free country. But still, the number of houses that are shortage. Today, there is an official record to show that there are 40 million houses shortage in India. That means India should have 240 million houses. Today, we have only 200 million houses. This is the Minister of Housing Statistics, right? So we have a clear 40 million home shortage. And then you can imagine what will be the opportunity. Then coming to our own opportunity in the global context, Roca has 88 factories, out of which 8 in India. And all these 8 factories are certified to produce world-class products, right? Now imagine, Roca must be thinking post-COVID, hey, let's start buying from India more because we have a global market, right? We have been buying a little bit from India, but now they shift the gear to India because you have the quality, you have the cost advantage, you have the pricing advantage, and let's move it around the world. Because I believe that the group itself offers a huge sales opportunity for us. So we are working in that direction, and perhaps we'll have a very good action plan coming up in 21 and 22 to make India the sourcing capital of the Roca Group, right? Today they have 8 factories in China, 8 factories in India, some 40 factories in Europe. And you can imagine the European factories over a period of time will become very uncompetitive because of the labor cost, because of the various other aspects, right?
So whatever you've told right now, You have kind of consumed me completely into the process, into the kind of knowledge, into the kind of a crash course that you have shared right now.
Correct.
So my question will start from that point of time. You said about survival, revival, and then the upheaval started, right?
Correct. Correct.
Survival from May to June, okay?
Correct.
Then revival from July to say September.
Correct.
October, like in comparison to the last year, you people have actually grown 14%.
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
and then the story continues, and you people are doing good so far, and in fact, growing better. What I want to know is about some kind of a learning. I'm sure some kind of learning have been there during the survival period.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
any lessons that you can remember that, okay, these are the things and how you managed it?
No, actually, we were really, really worried because on March 23rd, when everything was shut, we had no idea when they are going to open this place, right? And what is happening in COVID. And suddenly it started spreading to the Europe. And then Spain got attacked very badly. Italy got worse affected. America continues to be affected, no doubt about it, right? So then we realized, hey, this animal is not a small animal, it's a global animal, right? It is hitting nook and corner. Roca is present in 170 countries, and COVID is present in 180 countries. So it has gone to countries where Roca itself is not there in the world, right? Which means we have to be doubly careful. Then we started making some assumptions saying that maybe by June, July, we'll be able to start selling a little bit, right? But to survive the next 9 months of this year, the calendar year, from April to December, assuming everything is shut in the 9 months, what will be the severe impact we will have? So, me and my CFO started breaking our head to identify the cost elements and then started taking some quick actions, right? I personally spoke to all our tenant, the landlords. We have our offices, we have our showrooms, right? And they were kind enough to give us some reduction, right? 50%, 100% in some cases. So we brought down the rental impact. Employees, the next biggest basket, right? So we had to reduce some employee headcount because we really don't know how long this animal is going to happen, right? So we went for 10 to 15% reduction in the total number of people, right? Who are basically the back office and sales and little bit mix of all the people. But I'm happy to tell you, in the month of October, we recruited most of them back, and we are going to recruit further more people. You'll be surprised that we ran a suggestion program digitally using our technology, and there were 5,000 suggestions came from 3,000 employees. Can you imagine? 5,000. And all happened within a period of 2 days, in the month of March 30th and 31st. In 2 days, they were able to get 5,000 suggestions. And then we sat and then cleaned up, cleaned up, cleaned up. Finally, we landed on 100 suggestions and then started taking action on some of them.
So, what is the status of the factories right now? There's a production, everything is happening.
Full. We are crossed the pre-COVID level. We are operating at 110% of the pre-COVID level. Every
Okay.
factory is throwing up full. Even then, we are running some shortages. So
Hmm.
we know that another 1 or 2 months we'll be able to catch up. Because
Hmm.
I don't know whether it is a pent-up demand or 4 months people not buying, or
Hmm.
it is a resurgence of the market. Whatever way it comes, we are happy, right? I am not here
Hmm.
to say that only pent-up demand I am liking. Non-pent-up
Hmm.
demand I don't. Nothing like that. If my
Hmm.
customer comes to me and places order, we thank them, saying that thank you.
Hmm.
Here is the material for you. Right?
Yes.
Our job is that, nothing else.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that way,
So,
pandemic
hmm.
taught us quite a lot in the survival period. See,
Hmm.
it's very easy to say, Roca, $2 billion group, Spanish company, they will survive for 100 years, nothing like that.
Hmm.
We can fold within 1 month if we mess up the whole system, right? We have
Hmm.
to retain the people. When we are sending out some 50, 60 people, the
Hmm.
message was very difficult to absorb, saying that, hey, this company is getting rid of people. In the month of April, May, I'm talking about, right? But we need to tell them, like, Don't worry, this is a temporary period. We believe by October it'll all come back. And exactly it came back.
Overall, it has been a very, very, very nice and interesting time. So interesting times often, lead back some good lessons. So if there's one lesson I ask you that you have learned, because you are not taking COVID very, seriously. You're taking it quite lightly, and then you felt that okay, no, it's a giant animal. It's present in more countries than where Roca is present. Okay, we need to be double cautious, and we need to do it. And we need to really think seriously about it. So, what has K. Ranganathan learned from this?
No, I think pandemic has taught not only us, everybody, that you have to challenge the status quo, right? For example, we never thought that we cannot work from home because we have to have offices, we'll have to go to office, right? And we need to have expensive offices, expensive locations, right? But today, Corona has said that hell with you, you don't need to incur those costs, number one. Of course, we are very successful. It doesn't mean that we will work from home forever. We have our offices. We'll go back to our office in some point in time, I guess. But it taught us that, hey, why don't you challenge what you have now? Challenge your supply chain. Challenge you the way we work. The challenge the way you conduct meetings. In fact, meetings have become very disciplined now. If I say 4 o'clock, I have to have a call with you. 3:55, I have to be ready because it goes live, right? Whereas earlier, we'll open the room, all of us will be inside, some fellow will be coming, some fellow will be seeing something. But now here, your attention is very important. We'll find out if you are looking at your mobile, if you are looking at somewhere
Yes.
else, because the video tells you so many stories, right? So
Mm,
the cost competitiveness, the excess
mm,
cost in the system, what you call the
mm,
excess flash, the
mm,
corporate India, there is a study which I saw that across all the listed companies in India, they were able to report a better profit in the July, August, September quarter, not
mm,
because of revenue growth. Revenue fell down, but the cost went out of the system. Still, they were able to report a profit. So imagine how efficient the companies would have become, right?
mm,
So that is one thing which is very powerful learning for all of us, saying that don't worry about the impossible way of looking at it, right? Look at it from a challenging aspect. Ask 5 times why should I have this cost, right? What if the alternative, right? So in a
mm,
pandemic situation, in a crisis only, your brain
mm.
starts thinking and then
Well,
producing wonderful results, right? So there are many myths which were broken in this pandemic period, right? The myth that you have to have a palatial office, you all need to come, you need to have a physical meeting, everything is broken. Try to challenge the status quo of everything, whatever you have, right? There is no end to madness, right? There is no end to improvement. I
right.
always think, the excellence, what we call excellence, is a moving target, right? So the moment
Mm-hmm.
you go closer to excellence, the excellence goes further up.
This further.
Moving target. So you keep moving along in the same direction. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest learning for me. I think I was a little bit lucky in many sense that I had something to latch on instead of getting my mind bogged down with corona number, corona number, corona number. Slowly,
Mm.
the tennis classes started back. My friends came, so we started playing tennis in the month of August. Right, that gave me my breathing space. In flute, I
Wonderful.
learned the new songs because digitally you can learn. So when I
Mm-hmm.
was sitting at home, weekends and all, I couldn't go out. So the number of songs I can play now has moved from 50 to 200 now, right? So every day is a learning.
What kind of songs do you play on flute?
No, any film song I can start.
Any old melodious Hindi song also?
Yeah, little bit of Hindi songs, more
Do
Tamil
you have
songs.
your flute around?
Pardon?
Do you have your flute around?
Yes, I have my flute around. Always,
Yes.
it's a Hindi instrument.
Yeah, I should get the opportunity to listen to one
Yeah,
song.
I'll do that for you. No problem. Just a minute.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm so excited. I love songs, you people know. I love singing, and now I'm going to listen to some music from Mr. Ranganathan. I'm really excited.
Look at this. This is the flute. It's a very
Yes.
simple instrument. The beauty of this is it is only 500 rupees. I
Hmm.
have four of them. So one is in my travel bag. Whenever I go to outside cities, I can carry it with me. So it's so beautiful, like a mouth organ, no?
Yes.
So let me try this, and if it's not good, don't blame me.
It will be good, I know.
That's it.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
So something to learn and then fulfill our own inner self, right?
Yes.
Actually,
You know what?
my wife also plays flute, but not Sini song. It is only Carnatic. I also play Carnatic. So this way, I was able to spend quality time with her after 30 years of married life. Right? I never had a time to spend with her because I was traveling mad. 4 days in a week I'm out. Whether it is China or Barcelona or Delhi or Mumbai, I'm not at home.
Yeah.
They used to call me as a visiting father. Some motivation for me. Tomorrow they are going to post one more song, so I will learn that. Each of us will
Mm.
have our own way of charging our battery. Somebody
Yes,
may
yes.
go for a walk and charge the battery. Somebody may play
Yeah.
tennis to charge the battery. Somebody may play, flute. So that's what we are
Mm.
learning, right? Saying that
Yes.
keep the mind not preoccupied with anything. Let it have a
Mm.
lot of elbow room to learn like this, and then
Mm.
you are able to carry your life in a very peaceful and a nice manner. Like the world is
Mm.
very
So
uncertain because
true.
pandemic has
So
said
true.
it's an uncertain world. Right? We can only
You
plan so
know,
much. Have an upper control, lower control. Statistically, it is proven. You cannot go
so
beyond
true.
upper control. You cannot go beyond lower control. Manage
Mm.
your ego and efficiency within that.
And I would definitely want to know about your message for Surfaces Reporter. I'm sure it is going to be something that I'll learn from.
What
Your
I hope.
message, your
Pardon?
message for me and for Surfaces Reporter.
Oh, okay, right. I think your message for you would be perhaps you are a very likable person. You are able to converse with people very beautifully. So I think you are a rounded personality as well. So enjoy life as it comes. Take it and be safe. Obviously, Corona cannot be ignored by anybody. Stay safe and then look for what can be motivating for us to achieve in the immediate future, right? All of us need to have motivation. For example, I used to tell my team also at this age of 59, having been a senior executive in TVS and Murugappa, I have built a wealth for maybe next to 2 to 3 generations, right? And both my sons are in America, and they do not want even a single rupee from me because that's a reality. Because the moment you go to America, you tend to think that you cannot take from your father because that's a culture there, right? You have to earn yourself, right? That's the culture. Whereas myself at this age, if my father gives me 100 rupees, I will take it because this is my culture. Saying that my dad gave me, my mother gave me, right? But I do not need to earn at all. I with this curd rice, what we eat, because me and my wife eat only curd rice, right? We are a very typical Orthodox South Indian curd rice eating community, right? We do not have any flashy way of living, right? I do not have any motivation to work, number one. I do not need salary at all, but it doesn't mean that I'll work free. Right? I need to have a motivation. I need to take this company on a bigger platform. I need to look forward to what will happen in the month of January, how I'll bring the company back on pre-COVID level in terms of growth and other profitability. How do I take care of larger community of people who are dependent on our company, right? That is what we look forward to, right? So my suggestion to everybody, not only you, is to keep an agenda for next 6 months, next 3 months, right? All of us have our families to take care, right? Most of my colleagues have children, studying, college, marriage. So many things will come for all of us, right? So we need to earn wealth. We need to stay healthy because both are important for us. And on the personal side, I love what Akito Morio said, the Sony chairman. Some of you may know him. He said we need to have 5H, the letter H, right? Humility, humanity, humor, hope, and health, right? I can never forget it in my, even if you wake me up in the midnight also, hey Ranga, what are those 5 H's? Humility, humanity, humor, hope, health. Your organization, all the very best. I think you're doing a great job. Latch on to this bandwagon of digital. And also, once post pandemic, obviously, you'll be stepping out to the market, create a community of architects and well informed people. I learned that you have done many such interviews with well known people, which shows your
Yes.
credibility and your caliber. So keep traveling in this journey. Maybe after 10 years or after 5 years, you'll become
Hmm.
so popular in India that I'll tell my wife, hey, remember this Vertica long 2020 during some Corona time, I had a small conversation with her. She'll say, no, yeah, I don't remember. You are locked in a room, but I will remember forever, right? So wish you all the very best and a great future for you and your team.